Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, Eyewitness News at 6 a.m. starts with breaking news.
Yes, breaking news coming out of the newsroom. The royal family just announced that His Royal Highness Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, has died. The Duke of Edinburgh was known as one of the hardest working members of the royal family during his tenure alongside the country's longest reigning monarch. Philip married then Princess Elizabeth in 1947, fulfilled thousands of royal duties. He was 99 years old. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Yeah, we've got a lot of weather to cover because it's been foggy, it's been rainy, but a lot of that stuff is actually starting to finally lift up over us.
Yeah, that's right. We are still seeing some patchy fog out there this morning, but the rain, it is long gone. That low pressure system the last several days that gave us the rain has pushed eastward, so we are pretty dry this morning across the entire state of Nebraska, but temperatures are a little bit of a mixed bag. We're seeing the 30s. Oh yeah, the 30s. They're back today in the forecast, and the 40s. It's 45 in Broken Bow, Norfolk about 41 degrees with 35 in O'Neill. That's also the case in Grand Island, and closer to home here in Lincoln, we are at 37 degrees, 45 in Omaha with 37 in Beatrice. And if you look at Central City and Fairbury, your current temperature is right at that freezing mark, 32 degrees. So bundle up if you are in those 30s. It is pretty chilly out there this morning. And like I said, we do have some patchy fog, so watch out for that. But if you look off in the distance in this background, yeah, that's the sunrise. We can see the sun. We are cloud free. That'll help warm us up back to those 40s by 8 this morning and eventually the 50s by 10 a.m. So as for our high temperatures, it will be warmer today, 64 in Lincoln, but other spots will be a little bit cooler. Clouds quickly build in from the west, and so does rain. Back in the forecast for the second half of your Friday. We'll walk through that timeline and when we'll stay dry this weekend coming up in your full forecast.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Brittany. According to the CDC, more than 66 million people are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 in the U.S., and more than 112 million people have received at least one dose of vaccine.
And if we break it down even further, that data shows almost 175 million doses of the vaccine have been administered. That's about 3/4 of the doses that have been delivered so far, and that puts our 7-day average at more than 3 million doses given out per day.
More clinics are happening at Pinnacle Bank Arena this week, and today's vaccine clinic is second doses for people 63 and older, educators and child care providers. Then on Saturday, a first dose clinic for manufacturing and food service workers, and as always, appointments are required. Nebraska colleges and universities are encouraging students to get vaccinated for the coronavirus, but they won't require the shots before students return to campus in the fall.
And UNL spokeswoman Leslie Reed says the university believes shots are a good idea, but it won't mandate them. And then several private schools, that includes Hastings College and Midland University, they hosted vaccine clinics on their campus on Wednesday to make it a little easier for students to get their shots. And UNL might actually have something similar in the pipeline because they just opened up a COVID vaccine registry for students.
They can sign up to get their shot if they choose to, and Channel 8's Alexis Kineski has the story.
I just got an email from my school and I was kind of just checking my emails, and then I just said, oh, I should really sign up for that.
19-year-old Sarah Hawkinson, a freshman at UNL, signed up to receive her COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot less worrying and just kind of move the process along to bring back society together.
The University of Nebraska-Lincoln opened a registry Thursday morning for students to sign up ahead of time if they are looking to receive the shot when it's their turn. But there is one catch. Students need to do it now rather than later.
So the most important thing is for students to know is that the registry is only open until Sunday at 5 o'clock. So it's really important that they go and get signed up.
A date has not been set for when those students will actually receive the shot. UNL said it all depends on the health department and when they have enough doses. But the Cornhuskers are not the only college in Lancaster County that is preparing ahead of time.
We've been coordinating with Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department, and they have established a registry for all of higher education in Lancaster County. So that includes Wesleyan and other universities as well.
Southeast Community College also said their students are now eligible to register for the vaccine as of Thursday. Although no colleges in Lancaster County are making the vaccine mandatory, they're highly encouraging students to get the shot in order to stop the spread. Reporting in Lincoln, Alexis Kineski, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
And according to the CDC, the number of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine shots that's allocated to states by the federal government, that's expected to drop next week by 84%.
This week, nearly 5 million doses were expected, but only about 785,000 are slated for next week. But allocations of the Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna vaccines for next week will stay steady compared to this week. The events of the past 24 hours have left many worried and unsure of how exactly safe the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine is. So here's just a little quick recap. European drug regulators confirmed a possible link between the vaccine and rare blood clots.
And then UK authorities recommended that people who are under 30 years old should take a different vaccine. Both agencies, though, are acknowledging that there is growing evidence pointing to a link, but the chances of those clots are still really low and that the vaccine's still very effective at preventing COVID-19. Now, according to the New York Times, the federal government apparently knew there were some problems with the Baltimore vaccine plant. They knew it as early as last summer. And we're talking about the plant where the 15 million Johnson & Johnson vaccine doses were just ruined. Now, according to the Times, the government got a report in June and it warned about staffing and quality control problems there. What's not clear, though, is if the plant itself was actually made aware of that report.
The National Institutes of Health is starting a double-blind study on allergic reactions to COVID vaccines. Researchers want to know if people with histories of allergies or mast cell disorders are more likely to show allergic reactions to the vaccine made by Pfizer and Moderna.
And Dr. Anthony Fauci is saying that the results are going to help doctors decide how or if to vaccinate patients with those conditions. And he points out for most people, the benefits of the vaccine by far outweigh the risks.
Let's take a look at local COVID-19 cases in Lancaster County because we have 42 new ones, bringing our community total to over 30,000. One new death, a man in his 70s who was hospitalized. That community death total is now at 229, and more than 26,800 people have recovered from the virus. As more contagious variants of the virus spread in the state of Nebraska, a growing number of younger people are being hospitalized with the coronavirus. Officials say the average age of hospital patients declined to 51 in March from 61 in January.
And officials are saying that that age is shifting downward because so many of the older people are vaccinated, and the number of people hospitalized is growing too. That hit 161 this week. So the 7-day rolling average of daily new cases in Nebraska, well, it almost doubled over the past 2 weeks. It's at 491 now.
Youth sports may be one factor fueling the latest spread of COVID-19. The CDC now says youth tournaments and extracurricular activities are creating clusters where coronavirus can spread among children. And health officials say as kids keep playing indoor sports like basketball, hockey, wrestling, it's causing an increase in cases in some parts of the U.S.
School sports, particularly team sports, which people engage in close contact without masks. I think that is what is explaining these surges of cases in young individuals.
So what do you do if you have kids in sports? Well, the CDC recommends minimizing the time spent indoors and reduce the amount of time players spend in close contact with each other.
Representative Don Bacon says he thinks he caught COVID-19 late last year, and in a statement he says he was exposed to an infected person, then he experienced symptoms, but he never got tested, and he also waited 3 months in to get vaccinated.
He says he's expected to get a vaccine shot today, and Bacon's congressional office reported on December 2nd that he had been exposed to the COVID virus over the week of Thanksgiving.
Well, Norwegian Cruise Line wants to get started with cruises again by July 4th, which they will be able to do as long as all passengers and staff get vaccinated, they say. Now, recent CDC guidance didn't include a date for when the agency might allow U.S. sailings again. It'd be the first time since March of 2020.
And the cruise line would also require passengers to have a negative coronavirus test before boarding, and they would limit capacity to 60%. That proposal was submitted to the CDC this week, but the company has not heard back yet from the agency.
And that ban on sailing's taken a big toll on the economy of Florida, so Governor Ron DeSantis is taking action.
And so today, I'm happy to announce that on behalf of the tens of thousands of Floridians whose livelihood depends on the viability of an open cruise industry, today Florida's fighting back. We're filing a lawsuit against the federal government and the CDC demanding that our cruise ships be reopened immediately.
Coming up next, if you want some professional pictures taken of your pet, there is an event coming up this weekend, and you'll want to stay with us to hear all about it.
Now, your Storm Alert Team Forecast from meteorologist Brittany Foster.
Welcome back, everyone. We are getting closer to 7 o'clock on this Friday morning, and if you look at the satellite radar, that rotating system is that low pressure system that gave us rain in Lincoln the last several days. Notice how it's off to the east now, not impacting Nebraska anymore, so that means we currently are dry. Pretty clear skies out there as well, and that has helped temperatures drop back down to the 30s, temperatures we haven't seen in a while. It currently is 37 degrees in Lincoln as well as Beatrice, right at freezing in Fairbury and Central City, by far the coolest two spots on the map right now. 40 in Hastings and warm in Omaha, warmer I should say. In Omaha you're sitting at 45 degrees, so a nice place to be right now. Only need a light jacket there, but heavy coats if you are in those 30s. We do have just a little bit of wind, about 5 miles per hour. Looks like for most of us, some of you a little bit higher than 10, but with that said, it is making it feel just a few degrees cooler outside than the actual air temperature if you're above 5 miles per hour. So definitely, again, have those layers on. Grab the umbrella. You will want it later, even though we are currently dry in the area. But as we look forward to the rest of the day, the light winds we're dealing with now will actually increase. 3 o'clock on to about 7 o'clock. We could see gusts close to 25 to 30 miles per hour. So another fairly breezy day out there today, but it will be warm, and at least we have that sunshine. The sun will be completely up at 6:57 this morning with those cloud-free conditions, at least for the start of the day, because we will see increasing clouds as soon as noon, even a little before that, with rain showers lasting through the rest of the day today. So more rain on the way. That's why I said if you don't need the umbrella right now, but you do want it later today when the kids are going home from school or you're heading home for that evening commute. We could have some spotty showers during that time, and high temperatures, at least today, warmer. We will be dealing with that rain, but highs in Lincoln about 64 degrees, low 60s in Omaha, mid 60s, even close to 66 in Beatrice. But notice how the Tri-Cities are a little bit cooler in the upper 50s today. That's because the rain will arrive for you all first and then make its way eastward throughout the day. So by 3 o'clock, the Tri-Cities, you already could be seeing rain showers still during your even commute. Looks like most of the rain is off to the west of the viewing area. Then by 8 o'clock, starting to reach Lancaster County and lasting the rest of the night tonight into early Saturday morning. So we will start off your weekend with a little bit of some showers. It looks like most of us should be dry though, and we quickly dry out for the rest of the day. 63 degrees is your high temperature tomorrow, and as for Sunday, we will be flirting with those low 70s. 69 your temperature then, with mostly sunny skies back in the forecast. So today a little bit cooler for some of you off to the west, but most of us reaching those low 60s with the showers. Those continue, of course, into overnight tonight with temperatures in the low 40s, as we'll have the clouds helping prevent us from cooling down. But the 30s quickly return for overnight low temperatures. Could be close to freezing the next several nights, well even into next week, with a cool down on the way for next work week. Highs back in those low 50s, maybe a few upper 40s even, and more rain showers as well.
Back to our springtime weather.
The routine.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Brittany. Coming up next, the Nebraska Humane Society is in need of your help, and we'll tell you what you can do.
Plus, parents, if you want to send your kids to camp this summer, we've got a little bit of a preview for you. There's a local organization that's got a fun family activity. We'll go to Channel 8 reporter Giles Pembroke to learn more about it. It is springtime, so that means a few things. It means rain, it means flowers, and it means we're in the middle of kitten season.
And the Capley Humane Society needs your help.
Items that we particularly need right now are cans of kitten food, cans of cat food, and then also cans of replacement milk.
As the shelter enters kitten season, they'll have more babies who have been orphaned, and they'll need these items to keep them healthy. But they're asking for any type of donations you can give, whether it be food, toys, or even financial help.
People can bring these items to either facility. They can also order them on Amazon. Our website has a link to our Amazon wish list.
The Humane Society will take any type of food the community can donate, and the shelter helps 6,000 animals a year.
And if your cat, dog, hedgehog, whatever you've got's ready for its close-up, there's a fun event that's happening this weekend. Cherished Images by Beverly's putting on a pet portrait fundraiser, and that's at a local indoor dog park called Paws for Fun. And the event is called Cinco de Meow. It's from 1 to 5 in the afternoon, and there is a $5 donation per pet. And part of those proceeds are going to the Cat House. That's a no-kill shelter in town.
It's a really fun way to celebrate. You can still socially distance, but you will have photographs to show off of your pet for years to come.
And Janae says you're welcome to bring any pet to get its picture taken. Just make sure that it's well behaved and also keep it in whatever carrier or tank or whatever is appropriate for it. And you can find all the info about pricing and the different pictures on our website. So if you've got your phone handy, whip it out, point it at the screen, scan the code, and it'll take you right to the links we mentioned section for all the details. Well, still ahead, a fatal fire in Gage County's got the community pretty shaken up just 2 days after a murder-suicide.
Plus, the latest information from Texas following another mass shooting the same day the Biden administration announces gun control plans.
Time for the news-making headlines right now. It's the top 8 stories of the day before GMA.
We have some breaking news this morning. You are taking a live look at Buckingham Palace this morning. Flags are at half-staff, the royal family making a very sad announcement.
And that announcement's that His Royal Highness Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, has died. The Duke was known as one of the hardest working members of the royal family during his tenure, alongside the country's longest reigning monarch. And Philip married then Princess Elizabeth in 1947. He fulfilled thousands of royal duties. He was 99 years old. Well, as we come back to Lincoln, we do have something local, something fun for families to look forward to.
A local summer camp is planning a scavenger hunt all over the capital city. It's all new this morning, and Channel 8's Jael is joining us live with all the information.
Good morning, Nathan and Katrina. That's right. All you're going to need is your phone, your family members, or a few friends, and packing them all into a car as that scavenger hunt starts right here at Antelope Park.
Try to start a game of follow the leader with 5 strangers, or find 5 red cars parked in a row in a parking lot. Get a receipt for gas for 35 cents. Find a couple that's been married for 35 years or longer. So just trying to have some fun.
The Bright Lights Star Search Scavenger Hunt takes families on fun activities spread throughout the city. Teams can take pictures and support local businesses as they complete different missions. Now, this scavenger hunt is happening next Saturday. It's $35 per team. And again, all this goes to helping future summer camps in the capital city. Guys.
A tragic story out of Blue Springs this morning. A child died in an early morning house fire yesterday. 4 other people were taken to the hospital with burn injuries.
Shock, probably. Not very often stuff like this happens. This is a very quiet area.
The home was left destroyed along with personal belongings and vehicles. It comes just a day after 2 people were found dead in the town of Blue Springs, authorities calling that investigation a murder-suicide. Bates is a friend of the families, and she says the community has rallied behind them.
Our community has come together a lot, like more than I thought they would. We've had tons and tons of people coming to donate and messaging, asking how everyone's doing, if they need anything.
The State Fire Marshal's office says investigators have determined the fire was accidental but don't know what caused it, and the names of the individuals involved will not be released until after an autopsy is completed, which should be done later this morning. But out of respect for the family, we will not release those names.
And a story that's still developing in Bryan, Texas. Authorities say multiple people there were shot at an office complex, and a shooter is in custody. Now investigators are trying to piece together just what happened. They found 1 person dead, 4 others who were severely injured, and police believe that shooter was an employee there. And they did track him down shortly thereafter. They took him into custody, but during the time a state trooper was shot, and that trooper is now in serious condition.
And this comes on the same day President Biden lays out new gun control steps, such as restricting so-called ghost guns built from parts bought online, targeting braces for pistols by requiring them to be registered, and new investments in intervention programs in violence-prone areas.
This week, there are some more clinics happening at Pinnacle Bank Arena. There's one today. It's second doses for people 63 and older, educators, child care providers. And then on Saturday, tomorrow, a first dose clinic for manufacturing and food service workers. And don't forget, you do need an appointment to be there.
Let's take a look at local COVID-19 cases because we have 49 new ones to add to our total, which is now over 30,000. 1 new death, a man in his 70s who was hospitalized. The community death total now at 229, and more than 26,800 people have recovered from the virus.
Now, your Storm Alert Team Forecast from meteorologist Brittany Foster.
Good Friday morning, everyone. That low pressure system that was giving us all of that rain the last several days is now out of Nebraska, which means we are rain-free and cloud-free, which is great news for the rain, but at least the clouds have allowed temperatures to drop since they are no longer over us. We're at 38 in Lincoln, it's 32 in Fairbury and Central City, 36 if you're traveling to Hastings, and as for Omaha, a warm spot, 45 degrees. So most of us need to have some heavier coats on this morning, but if we look at temperatures the rest of the day today, we will top out back in the 60s. 64 is your expected high temperature for us here in the capital city. Other spots further off to the west could only get to the upper 50s. And it's all thanks to scattered rain showers. It'll move in from the west to the east with increasing clouds the rest of the day today, really picking up by around noon. And that's when some of you could already start to see showers around that time. 3 o'clock looks around the time that at least Kearney, Grand Island, and Hastings, the Tri-Cities, could start to see those showers bubbling up into the area. 5 o'clock, most of them are still focused off to the west. So if you're in Grand Island traveling around for that evening commute, you definitely want those wipers on. Maybe in Lincoln if we have a few sprinkles, but most of the showers are arriving in the Lincoln area about 8 o'clock and continuing overnight early into Saturday morning as well. So a little bit of a soggy first half of your Saturday, but sunny skies are on the forecast at least for most of the weekend. Tonight, those showers continue, of course, overnight. A little gusty wind speeds as well. Overnight temperatures back in the low 40s for tonight, but we do see a lot of 30s on the way for morning low temperatures until the weekend and even most of next week. Several more chances of rain also on the way, it looks like, once we get to the second half of the work week next week. And with that said, it will help drop our temperatures back to the low 50s, maybe even a few upper 40s. But the overnight lows, that's what you need to watch out for. We could be near freezing, so any plants that are outside might need to be brought in for next week in the morning.
All right. Thank you very much, Brittany. And thank you all for joining us this Friday morning. We'll see you throughout your morning still and at midday.
Your weekend's almost here, but before you do it, enjoy GMA. It's coming up in a bit.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.